Keith.
Oh man, you got a bit of an echo in your office.
I know. Neck of the Woods was a bit of an echo.
How are you, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Hey, mate, you're sharing it out. We've got to share it out, right? Make sure people get on board.
Yeah. Especially today, mate. We've got the special guest.
We've got Davo.
I know. Davo, long time listener, first time caller. Call us.
No, we've had him on. We had him on when he was just a bit of a, thinking about getting back into it, and look what's happened in the space of 3 months.
Yeah, was it 3 months? Maybe it would be longer. But you know what I was actually thinking? We had him on one of the very first shows.
I think it was the first one. Yeah.
And he was like the first guest, even though we had a show last week, and you were pretty shit, to be honest. All right.
I've actually got a bit of feedback on the Claude Munoz saying was Claude asleep last week?
Yeah, I might have been. But actually, this season
so
2.
I had a question for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your Christmas?
It was good. But yeah. I mean, Dave's going to be the first official guest for season 2.
Season 2, 2022. Season 2, 2022. Yeah. Okay.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Join us soon.
So we've got Dave. What else have we got? I mean, we're going to chat with Dave for a fair bit, aren't we?
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be we'll get him to tell us all about it. But I mean, apparently you guys have got a meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, it's the next couple of days. Next couple of days has been a bit of a challenge in bringing a few people together.
Okay.
Working on whatnot. The next few days we're going to get together and go through stuff. But Dave will tell us a little bit more about that coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about we were chatting a little bit earlier. We were saying that have you seen much of the feed from in Facebook from the England? They've got like a little championship happening there.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Oh, from what I've seen, it looks like I think it's only like 4 teams. They've got like a little mini championship happening, and I believe they've got 2 England teams. They've got like a England and England A, and I believe I've seen Austria, Switzerland.
Yep.
And they're the only photos that I've seen. So unless I'm missing something there, or I'm missing another country.
Yeah. But in any case, mate, this is good, because what it's doing is enabling those kids that are under 17 to get out and play, right? And they're doing it in England, and they're doing it at a competitive level. They're not going to Spain and Portugal and getting their asses kicked. So that's good. It's going to help build the confidence. But it's also, more importantly, it's going to help the next level, the next grassroots in England, right? They're going to go, man, I came and watch Switzerland and Austria come and play in my own backyard. I mean, that's great. And, that's what we try to do in Australia, right? With the Australia Day Cup, right? We try to get international players and teams here so that we can play against them. So, as you and I know, we say this all the time. We said when we were right at our, up to our peak and playing in our peak of hockey, we would travel the world to be able to play against someone from France or someone from England, or someone from Spain or Portugal or Italy or Argentina or Chile. And now we've got them in our backyard,
I know.
So it's most of it, right? So
it's funny you mentioned that, because we've discussed it, and I've told other people as well, like, the little bit of the philosophy and stuff. Like, I remember, when we were growing up and we were playing, our dream, and I know everybody else's dream, was you wanted to go and play overseas, didn't you? Yeah. And we somehow achieved that, and you achieved that. You actually got to play in Portugal. But remember, we just took off and went to Portugal, thinking, let's see what happens. That was a dream, just to go and play there. But now, having the opportunity to bring players over here, whether it's to England or in Australia, it's it just makes it a lot easier for everybody else's dream to come true.
And those juniors that have been committed for the last 5 to 10 years, you can see it in their level, because they've seen good hockey players. They've trained with some good hockey players. Yeah. I look at some of the kids that are 15, 16, 17. They're well advanced more than what I was, or what we were at their age. They're understanding. Yeah. Well, you probably never evolved past the age of 15 anyway in your level, but that's okay. That's cool. It happens, you know. What do they do? Some of them who really applied it, they get it, which is good. Which takes us to just quickly touch on Australia Day Cup.
Yeah.
21st to 24th.
So how many weeks are there? How many weeks? That's in about 8 weeks' time.
Yeah, about 8 weeks. Yeah, 8 weeks. 8 weeks. So it's not going to be at the scale of every other Australia Day Cup for obvious reasons, you know.
Yeah, of course. But it's understandable though. We can't get back there straight away.
Yeah.
Exactly. This will be this. You know, this is like the little stepping stone for the following year.
Exactly right. You know. So I still think we're going to have a good number of senior teams, 6 to 8 senior teams, junior teams, and there could be even the ladies, you know, division of staff. Got some ladies, they may play in the juniors, I was saying, but I'm also looking in Victoria. There might be enough to pull a team or two together there. So I've got to work with Glenn from Morty, have a chat with him about it, Max and stuff, and see what we can pull together. So anyway, that's the next couple of weeks to define that and nail that down. But that'll be good. That'll be good. What is the other thing I'm going to say? Oh, I want to touch about.
Well, before you move on, Australia Cup. So how many days is going to run? It's only going to be about 3 or 4 days. 3 days.
3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome. You know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It'd be good. Looking for any volunteers who wants to help, get involved. You know, it's you know, no matter how big or small it is, it needs people to help out. You know, so I would appreciate that. We want to bring that. You know, we want to bring that and make it work. And again, it's a beginning. It's a beginning of the rebound that we need to go through, right? And Dave will talk to us a little bit more about the committee and some future thinking and all that sort of stuff, which would be great.
Yeah.
But this sort of kicks off a few other things, you know, we're going to get people rolling again. Got to get people rolling again.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Which would be good.
What were we
just saying Townsville. Yeah, last time when we probably caught up with everyone, Townsville was training in the Rage Cage, I think it was called. It's an outdoor ring.
Yeah. We touched on it last week, didn't we?
Did we? Now they're indoors. They've got their own venue. Okay, did we touch on it last week? I couldn't recall. I just want to
a little bit, yeah. But have you got something else? Have you got something else to add?
No. I just wanted to say that they're getting, you know,
they've gone from the Rage Cage to some venue indoors.
The crab pot.
The what?
The crab pot or the crab cage or something like that.
So you said the crack pipe.
The crack pipe. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think Dave's in the green room. Well, he was. But
was he? Are we not getting the plane? We said we were going to get the plane out.
We're going to get the plane out. Exactly right. But before we get the plane out, we've known Dave for.
I've known Dave since I think it was pretty much when I don't know, 88, I think, the first time I met him.
Yeah, I mean, you're about 10, 15 years older than me, so it's probably 30-odd years, 30, 40 years for you, probably about 15 for me, you know? I mean, you're old, so it's been a long time, you know? Now that he's the chairman, I hope he comes on and he's looking sharp. Clean and sharp, you know? That's what I mean. You know, he's got to be looking good, right? Do you reckon he's got a shirt on? A T-shirt?
Don't tell me he's got a singlet. It's got a singlet.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dave.
You get hot and sweaty in Queensland, you know what I mean? Clean and sharp. I really hope he's a bit clean and sharp.
So okay. He's got his like.
Let's go get the jet. All right. Now Dave's in Bris Vegas, right? We've got to get up to Bris Vegas. So let me just I've got the fuel in the jet. And we'll just go get in. All right, stand by. Man, my Netflix account's not working. What are you watching? Can I watch it with you? What are you watching?
Me?
Yeah, Cobra Kai. What's your thing? Cobra
Kai. Does Dave look like the Karate Kid?
Yeah, Dave!
There he is.
Hey guys, how you going?
Dave,
can you hear me loud and clear?
Have you got a collar on?
I do, Claude. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, we can, mate. Loud and clear. Good to see you, buddy.
Long time
Yeah,
listener,
good.
first time caller. Dave, call us.
It's always a worry coming online with you guys, mate, because I know you always have a few surprises up your sleeve. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Not much
Mate,
today.
I had a big surprise last week for Steve. I just disappeared.
Yeah, I
how
know.
you going, fellas? Anyway,
Good, mate. Good. Do you have a good Christmas break? And I know we're almost into bloody March, but do you have a bit of time off?
yeah, definitely. Had a longer break than normal, actually. So it's been a good start to the year, and relaxed with the family and just chilled out till about mid-January. And yeah, so it's been been
Nice.
really, really good. So
Yeah.
refreshed, ready to go. Work's busy, hockey's busy. So yeah, it's good. So
Oh, good, mate. Now we'll get into a bit of detail about the hockey. But can you see this screen?
I can.
So how are you feeling? If you get to pick one of those pictures right now to best describe how you're feeling right now, what would it be? It just sort of gives us a bit of a sense on how to work with you tonight, buddy. Because, you know, is he grumpy? We've got to be careful about that. If he's happy,
All right, my eyes aren't the best, but there's a kid jumping some witches' hats in the middle.
Kid.
So that's probably the photo that resonates in me is obviously
Why's
the kids training.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
training,
definitely just grassroots. No, not me, mate. So my skates are packed away.
Yeah.
Very rarely get used these days. But I will tell you a story. I did jump on my skates probably a week ago. Just my daughter's playing AFL. I had a spare hour down on the Corso, Brisbane River, Yeronga.
Yeah.
Beautiful bit of concrete. Thought I'd get out there with a stick and ball. A girl rocked up probably 10, 15 minutes later. Roller skates, jumped on as well, learned to skate. I got chatting to her. She's like, yeah, I'd come down here every week. Learning to skate. And I said, how cool is that? You know, kept on hitting around. And then all of a sudden, Raph Toffless walked past as well.
Oh, Raph. Yeah.
Raph. So he's like, mate, if you're going to come down here on a weekly, you know, I'll come down and have a hit with you. So I'm like, you know, it's a small world. So
yeah, right.
It's pretty funny.
Oh, good on
you. Yeah, going back to the photo, it's definitely you know, the kids, and you know, we're, you know, that's where we've got to put our time and effort and focus into now. So yeah.
Oh, that's good, mate. That's good.
Yeah.
Now, Dave, we want to go through a couple of little things. But I was gonna, Claude, while Dave just take a breath for a second. Did you? I mean, we advertised this week.
Yeah.
The Dave's coming on board, right? On the show.
Yeah.
Now, did you see the love?
I know.
Did you see the love?
There was a bit of love there, mate.
The love, Dave. Oh, mate, the love. And I'm a bit like,
the truth, I've got to, I've got to get up with the social media stuff. I do get on occasionally these days, but yeah.
like,
anyway,
a couple of old girlfriends, a couple of old, you know. I mean, Dave was a pretty bit of a cruise, you know, a bit of a, you know, smooth looking dude back in the old days, you know. I'm not saying he's not now, but you know, back in the old.
No, that's good. Yeah, okay, I'll check it out when I get off. Yeah, thanks.
Show him the love. Oh, that's good. Now, Dave, we've got a couple of things we're going to punch through, and just going to just throw some stuff at you. But I mean, first of all, buddy, congratulations. As of early December, I think we had the Australian Roller Hockey Committee elections and all that sort of stuff, and you know, you're appointed as the new chairman for the Australian Roller Hockey Committee. So, mate, good on you, buddy. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We should have had the round applause, the applause effects.
Don't have the applause effects. Well, that's, you know, that's what people like now we need. That's where the quality. We just don't have the quality. Let's be honest.
We're just lacking a little bit of.
Yeah.
No, thank you. No, it was it was it was unopposed. So that's it's a good thing that I've been elected, and I'm looking forward to the challenges. So yeah, maybe in 2 years' time it won't be unopposed. Then there'll be people putting hands up and wanting to do the job. So anyway,
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, we're in a bit of a difficult situation at the moment because we're rebounding. So that's the case because you've done a great job and we're successful. And then people go, okay, I want to be part of something successful. I mean, this is always the hardest part, right? Rebuilding, getting things moving again. So, mate, I thank you for putting your hand up. Absolutely,
No, yeah, good on you, Dave.
Yeah.
But
thanks, guys.
What are I mean, I'm not too sure whether you can tell me much or not. But I mean, what are the main things? Have you I want to know because this is important for me. Have you got like some sort of plan? Have you got anything like that you want to strive to or work towards to?
Yeah, absolutely, Claude. The biggest thing for me and the committee, I suppose, mate, we've been chatting in the last couple of months. I would say probably more so January. About making sure we've got a calendar for the 2022 season. Long term, that's not my focus at the moment. It's more so just trying to, like I mentioned earlier, mate, just looking at the grassroots, all the clubs, trying to support the clubs as much as possible, trying to grow that basis again, mate. It's all about participation, mate. So, I mean, I suppose the roller hockey committee, Australian Roller Hockey Committee or technical committee, there's a few different ways of looking at it.
Yeah, variations.
The main plan, I suppose, would be around participation, and that will grow with the sport, and it will progress, mate. So and grow again. So again, just reiterating, it's all about your local clubs or growing the base of the players. Initially, and then obviously, just our job as committee is to actively promote the sport and develop and encourage, all aspects of it. Mate. So that's.
So I was going to say, so who's in the committee? These committees that you're talking about, who's in the committee? Who's in the main committee?
So I'm obviously chair. Stephen is head of coaching. Terry, officials. And it's all the local VPs for the states. So Jamie Reid in WA, Cookie or Glenn Cook in Melbourne, Dan from Glen Innes for New South Wales, and obviously Bevan here in Queensland. So that's really the committee, and the plan is we're just trying to get together for the first time. Both Steve, myself, and Terry have already met and just tabled some stuff for the agenda. So it's now introducing all of that to the wider committee, and then obviously through to the members, I suppose.
Yeah. And when are you trying to have this meeting with them? I mean,
there's been a few emails bouncing around today, actually. So initially, I wanted to have it tomorrow afternoon, but as a prerequisite, I want to make sure everyone's available. I think everyone in the committee should be represented.
Of course.
Tomorrow I moved to Tuesday. Again, we had a few issues there, so maybe on the weekend. So it's work in progress, Claude. I think once we get the meeting sorted, the plan is by the end of this month have a pretty solid calendar, and moving forward from that, it's a few other things on the agenda in regards to coaching wise and all that type of stuff, officials, coaching. So I mean, in the background, there's been some good stuff happening already. We just need to get together as a group and actually make sure we're all on the same page, and we're all talking, and that way it can filter down to the members in the clubs, and everyone's got a bit of heading in the right direction in the way of the first maybe 2, 3, 4 months, mate. So that's all we're really focused on at the moment. So, and you guys, I came in at the back end of what you guys were talking about before. It's all about you know, making sure we're on skates and we're you know, we're looking forward to things, you know. So
yeah. That's good, mate. Yeah. You know, I can talk with many different hats on, and one of them is, you know, being part of the community. Like Dave said, we're talking on officials registers and coaching registers and documenting all that stuff, and then aligning that up with Skate Australia and where we're at. You know, identifying some gaps. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, but I think, you know, you've spoken to pretty much. Oh, well, you've spoken to all the VPs, but you've also talked to a number of the clubs as well. And just getting a bit of a read on it, you know, where we're at, what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly, mate. We're trying to get a baseline on where we're at and where people are, you know, you know, part of our community are at. So, that includes Skate Australia, mate. So
So you've been pretty active. You've been pretty active already, Dave. Like in the last first couple of months that you've been doing something. You've already started with the clubs, have you, or and Skate Australia? Is that right? Or?
Yeah, definitely, Claude. You know, I've tried to engage with Skate Australia. I sat down last week for a couple of hours with a couple of the board members and Ari, who's the executive director.
Executive director, yeah.
Title. So, you know, and probably just had a really good chat about, one, where Skate Australia's at, and two, you know, our sport and what, you know, realistically where we're at and where we want to head to long term. So it's pretty exciting. You know, we've got a lot of work to do, but I think the engagement with Skate Australia here is really the key too. You know, we're part of Skate Australia as part of this committee. So, you know, trying to get a gauge on where we're at in regards to or where they're at, I suppose, from a governance point of view and you know, the structure. So you know, a lot of good things came out of the meeting. So I've invited Ari along to a couple of the training session, hopefully up here in Brisbane, so she can actually meet some people within the sport and have a look at the sport. And you know, that's what I think the sport needs, mate. You know, we need to all fall under that one umbrella and move forward and make sure we're growing the sport more so.
Correct, yeah. Because I mean, is Ari, obviously Ari's from Queensland, yeah? Because you've met up with her, you said.
Yeah, she's based in Queensland here. So she's got a really good background in professional governance of sports. She's worked with Sports England over there. Some great stories she was mentioning about how she brought sports together over there.
Well, that's good, yeah.
Rugby Queensland, Rugby Union or Queensland Rugby. She's worked there. She's worked for Brisbane Roar Football Club. So she's across a lot when it comes to you know, the growth of sports, governance, you know, the integrity of you know, what we're doing and you know, the outcome of where we want to be. So
because that's good. I mean, that you're touching on that you know, that's good that you're sort of trying to let them know the outcome where we want to be. And she's kind of quite new to, you know, to the board and stuff. But also the thing is that as well, that, you know, where we were 10, 15 years ago to where we started off and where we just finished off in the last couple of years, you know, obviously they're going to be able to understand and see that, you know, it can be grown with the right people. You know, we can get back there again.
Absolutely, mate. You know, and you know, it's been a tough couple of years, mate. Like, you know,
no doubt.
It's something that anyone in you know, a governance point of view, you know, I would have struggled to you know, to deal with it, to tell you the truth. So, you know, it's tough. We've got to come out the other side. You know, we've got to build some, you know, send out some olive branches and you know, make sure we've got the right direction, and also you know, make sure everyone's coming along for the ride, mate. So
yeah,
good or bad, it's you know, what I want to do in my role, mate, is you know, is focused on the local level and clubs growing at grassroots, basically, mate. So I think that's where the focus needs to be, and obviously the international side of things come into it. That's something that's new to me. You know, I've played hockey overseas, or you know, but the politics involved in it and all that type of stuff, it's certainly going to be an eye opener. But you know, it's something that I'm looking forward to, actually. So yeah,
that's good, mate. That's good, and you're right. There's a few people that are flat. There's a few people that are optimistic. There's a few people that are negative, right? So you get a bit of everything, and you know, we've been slammed, you know, for various reasons and obvious reasons. But I think about, you know, sometimes going back in history can be quite interesting and powerful, you know, from a mindset point of view. Anyway, it helps me. Back in 2011 and 12, we didn't have any hockey playing, you know. At all, right? There was nothing. I actually remember calling you back in when I had the first Australia Day Cup, and I kicked like, "Hey, mate, what do you reckon if I just start?" 14? Was it 14? I think it was 13.
I think it was 14. 13 or 14, yeah.
One of those. And we just said, okay, what if we'll just start something? You reckon there's enough players, you know, you reckon you could pull together a few guys to come and play? And I reckon we could, you know. And all of a sudden, you know, our first competition we got together, we had 10 teams. Like, that just came out of the woodwork. Now, the thing is that they were all seniors or whatever, and I think we had one group of kids, right, that were being played. It was just a 6 or 7, or maybe 7 or 8 kids that were just playing in the competition, right?
Yeah.
Where we are today from back then is we are so far in front. We've still got kids in Mordian, Melbourne, and Max Cook's doing a great job in a number of different clubs here, and Gympie's got kids, you know. Ghetto's got kids. Lyle's got kids. Glen Innes. So we still have something. So we haven't totally annihilated. Our sport is not totally annihilated. We've just taken 2 steps back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can spring forward. We just need a bit of optimism, a bit of clarity, right? A bit of leadership.
Direction, yeah.
Direction, you know? And then we start to just play at it.
Yeah, definitely. You got to look at the positives and put all of those negatives behind, mate. You know, you're exactly right. It's not as if we're actually going to have to start from square one and we don't have the players, because we do have those players. More importantly, there are players, and I will touch on this. You know, it's one thing that's probably made me step up into this position. We've known each other for quite a long time, and you were mentioning the Claude earlier. You know, it might have been 20 years, 15 years. You know, but during that time, you know, we've always stalled, I suppose. You know, we've always lost a generation here and there, which has been detrimental to the growth of hockey in Australia. You know, so you know. In the background, when I moved away from the sport and I didn't have much involvement, just coming back into it late last year with the Stafford closure of the rink and just speaking to the guys there again, a lot of the kids, or a lot of those you know, 14 to 17-year-olds had dropped away, you know, and they're our next generation, you know. So I'm already hearing positive things out of Gympie with Cookie. So, you know, speaking up, and he's been pressing me about, you know, membership number or membership costs and all that type of stuff, and looking what options we have. But these are kids that have been involved in the sport and are now coming back into the sport, you know, and maybe they don't want to play in, you know, in the bigger picture, you know, as a state team or whatever may be, but just to have them on the rink again is fantastic, and trying to accommodate that is you know, is top of the list of trying to bring the sport back up, mate. So everyone, I can't reiterate enough. Any clubs out there listening in, and I know there's probably a lot of people listening, you know, do everything you can, you know. At the back end, I know, you know, COVID's still floating around, but from a local point of view, that's where we need to be growing it. Yeah. So anyway,
exactly right.
Fingers crossed, mate.
So, and mate, we'll get there. This is we've done it before. We'll do it again. Getting the right people, like-minded, wanting to push stuff forward, wanting to support, wanting to engage, that sort of stuff. And this is I think we have that opportunity. We know that that the majority of the people in our sport are really positive and they really want to move stuff forward.
Yeah. So going back to what you were mentioning before, Claude, about what we need to be doing or what the plan should be. We touched on the calendar and trying to actually get that embedded so people can then look forward to, heading to a competition. It's been very hard in the last couple of years to do that. We understand that. So, collaboration between the states, which I think we're already, starting to get the ball rolling with certain squad numbers or certain.
I wanted to touch on that.
So, and obviously the leadership's got to be there with the coaching and officials.
Yeah, exactly right. And mate, I wanted to touch on that. I'm aware of it, but you probably know a little bit more detail. But there's a South Queensland, New South Wales sort of junior development squad coming together.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
So who's leading that? And what do you know about the sort of next steps on that?
Okay, so Steve Capewell's, as always, jumped on the bandwagon, so to speak, and taken ownership of this squad. So, he's leading from the front. We've got a number of different people involved in it too. I think Dan from Glen Innes is somewhat involved. So we're trying to collaborate between the three main clubs or the regions in Southeast Queensland, Northern New South Wales. So Gympie, we've got Bill up there who will be involved in the coaching. Down here at Stafford, I think Phil Capewell and James Murray, or Rabs, they're involved. I'm just trying to think. Bevan, I think Bevan's going to look at keeping and all that type of stuff. So I think the numbers are there and the people that want to help out, which is the key for the sport growing, And again, I'm all for it because it's that generation that is our next generation. So,
absolutely.
And I think Jamie's obviously involved with some of the coaching as well, Steve, as you're orchestrating. So it's good.
It'll come together.
Yeah, it's only little steps at the moment.
Exactly.
And people are trying to maybe jump, a bit further forward, but it's good. We've just got to, as a committee, set the precedent and make sure that what we're doing isn't going to burn people out too as well, and all that type of stuff. So I think there's on the record, I think there's 3 sessions already planned here in Southeast Queensland, one in March, I think, and then over a couple of months, one in Glen Innes. So we're trying to get to those areas, or they're trying to get to those areas. Me personally, I'm not involved. I want to take a backward step or a step back and be able to oversee it and not
then get on with it. Absolutely, just support
and not have to be there every. That's all part and parcel of people taking ownership of their roles and positions and.
And that's why you want volunteers. That's why you want people to put their hand up and help out. So not one person has to do everything.
Well, that's great. So we're talking Steve Capewell, James Murray, Phil Capewell, Dan Heaney, and Bevan Hurley getting. So I mean, that's a nice little coaching squad, so to speak. Lack of
mate, some good experience there, and it's
well done, guys.
It's positive, actually. Yeah,
absolutely. And for anyone, I mean, these things, like you said, are small steps. Now, I was having a chat with Steve Capewell a little bit about this a little while ago. He goes, we might only have a small number to begin with. I said, oh, okay, we'll bring some seniors in, bring some ladies in. And even if you have a small number, that's okay. So if you're taking your kids to this event or this, this squad training and this development exercise, even if it's small, it's okay. The next one will be that little bit bigger, and the next one will be a little bit bigger. And even if it's small, that's okay, because if you've got someone like James Murray and Bevan Hurley and others, they're going to actually have a lot more one-on-one time with some of those other younger players, and that's a great opportunity. So you've got to start small. Before you know it, you'll be like, oh, God, now we've got to separate them into different age groups and all this sorts of stuff, right, when it grows. Yep. And it'll happen. It will happen. You build it, it will come. They will come, But just be patient if you're seeing small volume of numbers in the beginning. The second one will be a little bit better, And as I say, lean in, anyone who wants to lean in and help, everyone's happy to accept that, Be positive, support the sport, support those that are willing to help, Yeah. That's good. That's great. Now, the other thing too is, and you said, did you say that you were out at Stafford's training last Sunday night, was it? And,
I try to get along when I can, but yeah. So,
So I heard Hannah Lincoln. Hannah Lincoln's, one of our, most experienced ladies players in Australia, does a lot of great work and driving and stuff. But I heard there's a bunch of, she's got all the girls back playing and happening and stuff like that. Was that, did you see a bit of that?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I must admit, last Sunday, Hannah had the weekend off. But then, there's still the girls there.
Right.
I've seen Christy out there. I've seen Shorty, a few of the other girls. So 3 keepers, all female.
Wow.
Oh, there.
Oh, wow, that's excellent.
Sorry, two. Sorry, Brocky, young Brocky. There was 3. Well, I was amazed. There was actually 3 keepers. And so. Yeah, it was good. Unfortunately, I don't get the chance to get down there enough. But from what I'm hearing, definitely the girls are going really, really strong down there. And
good.
again, I think we're talking under 19s. We're talking. Well, we haven't talked senior men's, but the emphasis needs to go on the girls as well. We've got some great female hockey players here in Australia, world class. So we need to be engaging with those girls that are keen to go to international competitions, and give them as much options as whether it's under 17s or under 19s or whatever. So. I want to very push or advocate
Oh, that's good, mate. I mean, that's great. I mean, ladies, 3 keepers, it's
and it's good that Hannah's using that stick that she got, the new stick.
I haven't asked her about that. I don't know how he's done it and delivered it to her yet, but
it's turned up.
Rob must have some
all right. Hashtag Hannah, we need a photo.
Contacts in the government over there, because I know their borders are still closed. But
hey, let's chase Hannah. Whoever's watching,
the chase for skates. Remember the chase for skates?
Yes. Chase for Hannah.
Come down for Hannah.
Yeah. Send us a photo here, Hannah.
I don't know. Is there any people listening in? She might be listening in. I don't know. So
there's about 11 people there watching.
Give her a week. And anyone who sees her that actually can convince her to send her holding a photo will get a prize.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Rob will send something else.
The golf ball or something like that. But anyway, it'll be a prize of some sort. We'll get you on the show.
A prize.
Yeah, absolutely.
Might be a surprise.
Now, okay, so that's some good Queensland updates. We know Townsville's got some stuff moving. Lelito in Mackay. Now, I was happened to be working out this afternoon at the gym, just saying, But anyway, and I ran into Ash Clee and Jay Cook.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the boys up there pumping some iron.
Were they? Or were they just walking past the gym? Were they walking past the gym? Or?
I mean, I saw Ash working out. Jay, I'm not. No, they both were. They had a bit of
Jay was on his phone.
No, the boys were there, so that was good. We had a bit of a chat. So Morty's got a bit of an in-house league going at the moment. They're back training. So it's funny you say, you know, goalkeepers is always a good gauge of a club or participation, right? Isn't it? You know, if you've got 3 goalkeepers, with like that's a healthy sign. So, and I asked, I go, oh, how you going? And Morty, is Reece Leeton training? Yeah, he's there. What about Lee? Yeah, he's been back. Jay's training. So, you know, the Cookie's obviously there. There'll be Dazzler. So that's good. You know, they're back. They're involved. What do we have? We at the Melbourne training last night. We had 3 goalkeepers, you know, and 10, 12 players, you know. Good. You know, everyone's, you know, oh, what's happening? You know, we're going to get ready for the Friday Cup. You know,
last night we also had someone clean the floor, wasn't it? Was that you cleaning the floor?
I think
when I went over cleaning the floor.
It was on the back. Was on his back cleaning the floor.
No. You know, Claude sort of sits in the middle there, right? He doesn't defend, doesn't attack. He just sits right in the middle there.
I just placed myself in the right spot.
Circle, mate. That's as far as he goes. At that point of the circle, this point of the circle.
We're doing the warm-up drill. It's like, man, I could have a break because I'm done. Well, you know, we haven't even started.
I'm done.
Yeah. But that's good, you know. I find it hasn't, you know, I haven't done a really good training session in a long time, but you know, it's always a good feeling coming off after a good training session.
It is, absolutely.
Especially when you've got keepers there. You know, that's the
thing.
You used to always go there, no keepers, you know, head you up.
I know.
But as soon as there's a few keepers, it's fantastic. So
yeah. And chatting to Jamie.
Forward, man. You might make a comeback, mate.
Yeah, Clazza. Come on, Clazza. Oh, yeah, you mean as a floor player?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, it's lucky that you can see his head, Dave, not his body right now.
Yeah.
So,
Mate, I'm fit at the moment. I've been training for the last couple of weeks.
That makes all the difference.
That's enough.
Once a week for 2 weeks. He's done 2 training sessions. Last week, he turned up and he didn't even train. He actually serviced the streets. He just put new stoppers on. Yes.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
So you come here. Oh, I'm okay. You guys are good.
Drove an hour to change my stoppers.
Oh God, so true. Yeah. You're a bloody nightmare. So anyway, but also talking about Jamie. Jamie's got his crew going up and about as well. He's right into it too. It's great. He's got a lot of passion. You know, he's been chatting and so. Actually, talking about Jamie and actually Steve Capewell. So, for those who don't know, which most people wouldn't, with my role as the chairman of coaching, I've also established a subcommittee, and it's only the beginning of a subcommittee. So, I've asked Jamie and Steve Capewell to be part of that subcommittee, and what that does is enable us as a small working group to review the current situation in relation to coaches. Who do we actually have as a coach? Are they accredited? What are they accredited with? Are they recognised by Skate Australia, World Skate? So we're just trying to bring that information together. So we've actually started to do that. And we've actually done a first cut of that or a couple of cuts of that, and we're moving forward. That's part 1. Part 2 is, and this is where Jamie, I mean, for those who don't know, Jamie's he's a great asset to our sport, but he actually, you know, he's very humble. He doesn't really talk about it, but he's, you know, he's an educational trainer. You know, he's a facilitator. So we want to really revamp and relook at the accreditation process or the coaching of the coaching process, whether or not it's accredited and that sort of stuff. We'll work through that, but really use some new tools and technology and ways of sharing information that we can go, you know, hey, I'm a coach. I know that like Ash Clee sometimes and Jay, they go, I'm coaching a beginners team. You know, it's like, okay, just I wouldn't mind, you know, what should be the focus? You know, for me, it's around skating, you know, skating and skills, you know, that's the core focus for beginners. So here's some instructions about what you should be doing, you know, in relation to coaching juniors or beginners versus, hey, I'm a senior coach of a bunch of guys that are, you know, 25 to 35, good level. I need some more insight into how I'm going to coach. Okay, well, here's a different conversation. Here's a different set of material for you to think about. So anyway, we're going through that. Now, this is definitely not a closed subcommittee. It's open to anyone who wants to get involved. this is a a community of coaches, I call it. But we're just starting with the 2. So just put your hand up, guys. If anyone wants to reach out and get involved and be part of something, great. We'd love to have you. And that's what it's all about. Sharing of information, and ultimately all of us trying to move up. Now the reality is too, we've got to be patient. I know that some teams progress further than others because some teams can train 2 or 3 times a week, and they've got dedicated coaches so that they move at a different pace. And others are just once a week, once every 2 weeks they train. And that's okay. That's cool. So just got to be, there's got to be reality around where we're at with these sorts of things. But ultimately, we want people participating and being involved. Yeah.
To further that comment too, Steve. From a coaching point of view, and even a committee point of view, we're one thing we've realised with the current committee that we don't have a secretary.
Yes,
within the committee. We don't have a championship director. Like as we're going to concentrate on the key tournaments each year. And we've all got roles, and we're all busy. We're all volunteers. That's probably the biggest thing, and that's one thing I did touch with Skate Australia, and it came up. It was a poignant discussion. We're all volunteers. And we can only do so much, So, just IDing the holes that we've got to plug as well, and then they're obviously advertising and or asking people, do you want to be involved? We think you've got something to give. So, that way we're more, we're documenting things where, we're open to, the community seeing what we're trying to do as well.
We're trying to be more
engaging in something that I'm not really good at, your Facebook and your social medias and all that type of stuff. Where we're aligned with what, Skate Australia want us to do, but we're in control of our own sport as well, and we're moving in a direction that's that's growing the sport, So.
Yeah, thanks, spot on.
So kick your ear to the ground. There might be some emails coming out very soon when we go out to the members and just say, hey, does anyone want to put their hand up and help? And that's what we're after at club level, at state level, and even the possibility of jumping on the committee.
Yeah, well, actually, and I'll just expand on that a little bit. Yeah, so secretary and competition sort of manager, director, the center of everything that we do, should revolve around participation and being involved, and playing games, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because that's why we love roller hockey. That's why my kids love roller hockey. To play a game, not to be necessarily a coach or an official or something. A coach and official wants to be still part of a game, right? Right. You don't want to be, you can't be part of a game. So what we don't have at the moment is someone who's just dedicated to focusing on, okay, we want to make sure every state has a competition and we have a national competition and we're focused on this. So that just pulling that together and someone to oversee that, because I have a view and I throw mine in and Dave does, but I've got to focus on a lot of coaching stuff. I can't be focused on, well, what is the national competitions? But it'd be great to someone goes, all right, I'll help coordinate that. Great. And a secretary, your point is, gets us a little bit more organized, We've got a lot of actions, a lot of things we want to do, and someone can help like that and also communicate out to the community. Like Dave and I we've been chatting pretty much daily, and we've got all these things, I was like, he jumps off the call and he runs into his office. We're both professionals working in, big organizations, and then I get off him. And, we spend the next 6 hours doing stuff, and then we go to bed and go, oh, my God, we've got to probably get that.
Leaving messages with each other and then getting phone calls and actually just can't remember what the original phone call was about.
Dave,
what was it about? Oh, mate, I can't remember, mate.
Hey, touching on what you guys are saying with the, trying to coordinate something, because it would be good, because, everybody pays their membership, and it's a 12-month membership from first of the month, for the first month to the 12th month, and it would be good if we can have, obviously not this year or maybe moving forward, for example, and it's not something that you're going to have to mandate, but something that you can advise states to, for example, that every state that plays rink hockey, roller hockey in Australia has to have their state championships by a particular time frame. Within these couple of months, you've got to have that. So then that way...
I agree, Claude, because, again, part of me taking on the role, looking at all the bylaws, looking at, pages of, Skate Australia. The first thing I did when I was voted in, I think 17th of December, I think I went on holidays maybe 3 days later, the 21st, 24th,
like
whenever it was. ScoMo, yeah, off to Hawaii, mate, just playing the ukulele, mate. Was printing out all the bylaws, again, it was just something that, again, I'm across the Skate Queensland, constitution, all that type of stuff in my previous roles, but just understanding the bigger picture. And like you said, you look at those type of bylaws, or you look at World Skate bylaws, mate. You have to have competitions done by certain times to qualify or to actually register for these tournaments. So there are processes in place that have changed over time. With the World Skate Technical Committee, who pretty much oversee, all the different areas around the world, and obviously we're in Asia. So, we're supposed to have certain tournaments done by certain times. So again, if the calendar's based around that, all well and good, but it really depends too, Claude, on what our focus may be as well.
Yeah.
So
good point, isn't it? Because sometimes we have scenarios or conversations about the big major event, the World Cup, for example. Now, the World Cup only benefit, or 10 people participate in that, right? Yep. And we can't sacrifice the rest of our community, the rest of our states, the rest of our clubs, the rest of our grassroots for this thing up here. That's important, absolutely. But it ain't more important than everything else, without a doubt. So we're, Dave and I and the others, we're starting to have these real conversations around what's the reality of where we're at. Just take away the last 2 years, but when we started, and Claude knows this, very well, but back in 2014, we were invited to Asian Games and World Championships and stuff like that when I was the coach, and we said, we're just not ready. We're just not ready. Like, we can't. Just no, So we said, let's just start with New Zealand. Once we can get competitive with New Zealand, then we'll go to the next level, which is Asia. And once we find that we can actually be, reasonable with Asia, we'll go to the next level, which is the World Championships. Looks like Dave's just getting an Uber pizza or something sorted out right now. Capricciosa? What are you after, buddy?
It's all right, Dave.
It's all right, Dave. Just take your time, man.
Right,
just take
your time.
It's all right, man.
Sorry, mate. I'm just... Oh, mate, sorry. Well, I've left the barbecue on and I've burned all my So sorry. I was listening, but I was just telling my daughter, Mum, anyway, sorry.
Barbecue on. All right. Right. We won't hold you.
Low. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. But you're right. Yeah, I was listening.
We've got to be conscious now.
Yeah.
What we're also doing, for what it's worth, right, is also assessing the current situation, which is what is our player base, what's the level of that player base, what's the appetite to participate. And in the coming weeks, the committee will go, okay, well, this makes sense. We participate in this thing, but maybe not this thing. We take this team there, but maybe not that team there. So we've got to be realistic about where we're at. And that's got to be based on, the facts and the data that we can pull together. And this committee is going to help do that.
Just quickly touching in regards to World Roller Games, I did speak to obviously, as I mentioned earlier, Alicia, or the board. Alicia was there, and Karen and Ari, and I did query her about, hey, where that's all at. So there's still a little grey area in around it. I mean, the competition's going ahead in CM1, but qualification still up in the air. Direct access to the tournament is more or less, I think, happening. But that's something that's getting discussed.
Did you say that the Asian Games? I mean, Antonio. And Claude and I have actually got a really good relationship with Antonio. Probably haven't spoken this year, but I think you indicated that it was 6 weeks or 8 weeks before the World Cup was the Asian Games qualification.
Correct. Yeah.
Which is just impossible for us, right? That's
and that's the stance that Skate Australia have taken. Hey, it is too close to, too close to the actual main tournament where you're trying to qualify for. Again, touching base on back to what you were saying earlier, Steve, about, picking and choosing and, just trying to grow. It's really tough to expect a senior men's team or a ladies team or a under 19s team to be trying to go to China 6 weeks before traveling to Argentina. Just the costs alone. I looked at airfares. I've been there's been a couple of chats about what's happening. What are the flights out of Sydney direct to whether it's Santiago or somewhere like that. I don't think you're going to have much change from flights.
It's going to be expensive,
$2,000-$3,000 US. So it's really that it's really that. Do you make the tough call and
to think about it? I mean, we've got to make sure that as well. I mean, this is just me just thinking out loud that we cannot rule ourselves maybe in attending maybe the Asian Games, for example, if it's possible, because at the end of the day, we are still the defending champions.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Is that more in the
champions?
San Juan, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just putting my own personal view. For me, it would be from I know how hard the players have worked. I know how hard everybody else around those players have worked to achieve that. And then, well, I know the pinnacle is to go to the World Championships in San Juan, the World Skate Games. But if the opportunity was there, well, it's something that has to be considered, because you might be able to go if you can't go to both. If you can't go to both, maybe you might be able to go to one, and that one might not be San Juan.
One.
That one might not be San Juan.
Does Juan play for San Juan? Does Juan actually come from San Juan?
Juan, which one?
Which one?
Which one? Do you know, Dave?
I think he's from Mendoza. Is he San Juan or Mendoza? I don't know.
Which one? Who you talking about?
Which one? I don't know.
No, he's from San
Juan. One might be from San Juan, but who knows?
There's only one Juan. There's only one Juan.
There's only one Juan.
Is there any comments or chats happening here? Can someone ask where one?
No, there's only one Juan.
There's only one.
No, but there was another Juan that came in 2001. And he was actually from San
I never met that one in 2001, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, that was another one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was another one. There's dos Juans.
Yeah.
Anyway, now Dave, I'm going to let you go because you're going to get your burgers going. But you mentioned before. But you mentioned before that you're not into social media all that much. I mean, maybe you should get a TikTok account, a bit like this guy.
Mate, actually, no, sorry. I will say that I did. I think it was one of the other episodes. Something about a dog. Was it a dog? You've got a TikTok or something, Instagram with your dog, Claude. So
that's right. Yeah.
Mate, is he getting sponsors? Is he paying your bills these days? I don't know.
Yeah. Mate, I don't know, mate. Seriously, I was having a look, and he's had like close to 8,000 views. One of his things, man.
Wow. Maybe put him on some roller skates or something, mate. I don't know.
Mate, if you only
saw him. Big shout out. What's his name?
It's Ryder. It's called Our Dog Ryder. Follow him on Instagram. There we go.
All right, Our Dog Ryder. Ow. Who does the owl? Oh yeah, there we go.
Just watch his lips, man. Just watch his lips like now. See that?
All right, Our Dog Ryder. What else is going on there? It's a bit boring.
Yeah,
that's boring. What he's when he's
Well,
tearing up the
He plays
backyard.
footy, man. He plays footy. He's a
Actually,
footy player.
he could actually probably join the Carlton Football Club. You know, they actually need a couple of decent players. Anyway, there we go. Claude's Instagram, TikToker.
I'm an influencer.
You're
I
an
took a
influencer.
shot for it,
Yeah.
but I'm still an
Yeah,
influencer.
You're an influencer. Yeah, you're an influencer, mate. You're a cold. You're the flu.
I took a shot for it.
All right, Dave, I will let you go, mate. You got to get dinner time. You're an hour behind us.
The family's actually just walked in from AFL training, so
AFL.
I'm probably going to get in a little bit
Trouble.
Yeah, I get you.
The fire brigade.
for being here for 45 minutes or however long it's been.
Oh,
but,
yeah, maybe 45 minutes.
I've burnt the chicken tenders, and anyway, it's.
Well, dude, as you know, we're trying to get some calendars sorted out, get a few other things. So let's get you back on the show in a couple of weeks when we've actually locked everything down. And then we can actually, you know, obviously it'll go out to the clubs as soon as possible, but we'll get you to come back on and we can talk about any new news, you know, and share it.
Yeah, cool. I look forward to it, guys. Keep up the good work, and, you know, obviously, it's looking good for 2022 if we can, all come together and collaborate and make sure we're all on the same page and hopefully it's we're all on skate soon.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
We're all having a beer, you know, in the same location or something like that. You know, it's funny. I was talking to Jamie the other day, and that's all he's looking forward to. I just can't wait to sit down.
This is Western Australia. They're a bit sort of.
Mate, he's got the walls are up over there, mate. He's like a
poor bastard. I know.
Yeah,
You'd be going crazy. I mean, it's just got so many dynamics. This coronavirus thing.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want anyone. And now I'm locked in. I want to get out. I want to get out.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. We've got to let him go. We've got to let him go.
Yeah, I've got to go, guys.
We've got to let him go.
Now, listen, we've upgraded you. You've gone from economy up to first class. We're going to put you back on the jet. Drinks are on us.
All right. Beautiful, mate. Looking forward to the duty free, mate. It's been a while since I've had a bit of duty free. So
get Claude's bit of Claude's got a bit of the Old Spice. That's his.
The Old Spice and a bit of brute.
All right. Hey guys.
Bye, mate. Hey, buddy.
But before I go, enjoy the golf.
Yes.
Golf. So good day to all the old hockey players, and
that's true.
pass on my best wishes.
That's next week
to all the oldies, mate.
We'll touch on that once we let Dave
including
go.
You guys, mate. You two are the oldies now as well, mate. You know, so but good luck. I think it's a brown jacket. They win. So good luck with the brown jacket.
I actually played decent golf until I played with Claude. You know, like you just become a subject.
Mate, I give you my handicap.
Last week, Claude, you joined the golf club and you did not even play a round of golf, and you lived on the golf course, mate,
for 4 years.
4 years.
I lived in the golf course for 4 years. Didn't play once. Did not play once.
But Dave, I've had a couple of rounds with him in the last month, and he didn't play once either. Put it that way. It was pretty shit.
Mate, I normally play left
in the parking lot, mate.
I normally play left-handed clubs. And I thought I'd give him a handicap, so I took my right-handed clubs.
Yeah, right.
Claude didn't even know how to tee up the ball. Yeah, mate, you're going to tee the ball up a bit higher. It's like, I'd actually tee the ball up. I went, you're driving off the fairway, off the tee. You got to put the ball up on a tee, you know? What?
All
right, Dave.
I've got to run.
Thanks for coming on,
mate. All right, get back on the jet. See you, buddy. Bye. I reckon Dave's had about 3 gin tonics by now. A couple of I think he's a bit of a Bundy and rum sort of guy. That's what Queenslanders are. Get the Bundies out.
A couple of 4Xs. Man, that jet is just too loud, man. Am I sitting on the
He's still there.
Dave's still there. Hang on. plane. The meal service is over.
No, he wanted to get
Three
on the
drinks,
freebies.
man. This guy, I tell you.
He was on the freebies.
I know
Like,
oh, jeez.
you can't take that with him. He was just fucking taking everything.
He's like rusted on, that guy.
Oh, man.
Actually, yeah, for those who that are interested, which is probably not many, or maybe there's a lot, but yeah, there's a couple of guys, ex-national roller hockey players from back in the 90s, 80s and 90s that actually host on an annual basis it's like a reunion, bringing everyone together. They've done it for, I think it's close to 30 years now, which is fantastic. Shane Simpson, Brett Philpott really pull everyone together. So anyway, that happens every year, a couple of laughs, and they just play golf.
And it's been going on for what, 25?
30 years. Is it 25? I thought it was more than that. But anyway, yeah, about 30 years. So yeah, it's awesome. Awesome. Absolutely. So anyway, so we're gonna stick our nose in there next week and catch up with a few of the old guys that we've played hockey with, that you played in the Olympics with. Do a bit of a clinic.
Yeah.
Have a bit of a laugh. So we'll have to report back after that. We'll have to report back and catch up with a few bods up there. So that'll be good. That'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there you go, mate. Davo shared some good time with us then, and he's motivated.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
He's engaged. He wants to make a difference. He wants to help. You know, he's willing to listen. So that's great. That's great. That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think he needs, though? What do you think he needs to be successful? Because that's what it's about, right? You've got to help people who put their hand up and get involved in these positions. You want them to be successful. But what do you think he needs to be successful? What can we do for him or others?
Well, obviously, it's obviously going to need support. It's going to need the support from everybody. But for me, you know how I am, Steve. I'm very big on like having a plan, having a direction. I need to see it. We need to map it out.
Yeah.
And then that way we need to know who can come on board and help and take each direction, you know?
Yeah.
That to me is extremely important, you know, having a plan, having the direction, knowing what we're going to be doing. And that's what, like I was sort of saying before, you know, I mean, I know that this is something that we can do at a later stage, but something to look to, it would be, for example, like I was saying to you, you know, you need to have your, not mandated, because people will start jumping up and down.
We don't mandate
thing, but you just want to be able to encourage people, say, look, you know, if you can have your state championships by this time, after that, you know, if you're smart enough, you can take your league, like your state league, you know, that will probably build towards your club championships.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then all being worked and, you know, all, you know, choreographed correctly, that, you know, then you've got good players, you've got good people, then it goes to, you know, we're talking about sending a team to the Asian Games. Well, then you've got players that have been playing, you know, they've played in the state leagues, they've been playing in the state competitions, and they've been playing in the, you know, the Australian clubs. You know, they've got formed, they're informed, then they can go away. Yeah. Just got to be smart. You know, we can't like say, okay, we've got to go to our championship now, but we're going to come off from 2 or 3 months of not having any hockey.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, one of the, I mean, to rephrase exactly what you're saying, because I agree with you, is that once you get that plan, then you want to introduce a level of stability, and predictability. I know every year or next year, I'm more or less going to have this competition at this time. I'm going to have a league at this time. I'm going to be able to participate if I'm good enough in this competition at this time, and maybe represent my country at that time. You go, okay, well, there's an 8-month or a 10-month calendar, right, of activities, and that provides the predictability and stability that not just you and I need, but actually parents need, especially they're putting things into the sport, right? They need that. They need that. If they don't have that, it's like, it's chaos. I got to go do something else, you know, because everyone's busy, right? So what I am optimistic about is that we've got a draft calendar, as Dave was saying. We're working it through. So we're going to get there. It's going to take a little bit of time because everyone's really busy trying to coordinate things. But, you know, we've got to think of things in quarters, right? 3 months at a time, 3 months at a time. we're getting to the end of this quarter, which will be in the end of March, and I'm pretty optimistic by the end of this quarter that we'll have some meaningful stuff that we'll be able to share with everyone, and be able to move forward for the next quarter, the quarters after that. So that's good. Good.
Yeah. No, it's good.
All right, mate. Any closing words? I think we're done, mate. I think we're done.
No closing words, mate.
Any inspirational words?
I'm just wondering whether or not Dave's going to have to go and get takeaway, man.
Why is that? Oh, because he burnt the snags, or his wife walked in and goes, "Hey, where's the sausages?"
Sausages, burned the chicken. He's burnt everything, he said.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's just say a quick thanks to Eddie Carrion. Eddie.
Oh, Eddie.
Thanks for joining. Al Andrew. Brew.
James Murray.
James, the Conejo Murray. Burnt snags are never good. Jordi Poblet from Spain. Got Jay Cook, Ash, Clee,
Christy. Oh, Crystal, sorry.
Crystal. Hi, Crystal. Good to see you. Jordi Poblet from Spain. Nice. Good to see you, dude. I know he's training and playing with Espanyol, which is great. Keep fit, buddy. And Cookie is in there too. Linda Meekel's in there. Hey, Linda. She's a great follower of roller hockey. She used to play years ago and is a great friend of the Carrion family, and actually used to be in crew, you know.
We also had Filippo watching.
Oh, is he good old Pippo?
Yeah.
You know who I got a text from in the middle of that? So Jordi Poblet Senior.
Ah.
Epa.
Jordi Poblet Torres.
Yeah. So the photo, like, how do you feel? There's a little photo in there with him sleeping on the chair. What's going on?
Yeah.
Make you famous. Yeah. Exactly.
We also had Sandy Sherman, Bruno Santos watching as well.
Hey, Sandy. Yeah, nice.
Tony Regina. Yeah, it was good. Good. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
All right, so let's keep going. Next week we might be on pause for a week because that's what I said, we're traveling. Unless we do a live show from the golf, but I just don't think that's going to work. I think it's going to be a bit hard. It's going to be a bit hard to make that happen. So probably the following week. We've got a few people on. Now, I haven't reached out to Rowan. We want to talk to Rowan in New Zealand. What's going on there? Get Rob Basie back on the show. What's happening?
Yeah. Now,
the other thing too, we touched on this last time, but we want to do it this time. It's called Hidden Talents.
Yeah.
Hidden talents. There's a bunch of people in this sport, in this community, that's got hidden talents. Now, just saying, we know that Rob Basie, and Rob, he's very open. You know, he's a musician. He actually records music. I actually follow him on Spotify now.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I listened to it. He's actually it's really good. It's quite country. Anyway, one of his top songs I listened to. Yeah, very much so. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Well, I've got some hidden talents.
You got some hidden talents. So what you want to tell us just quickly then?
Martial arts. Remember the martial arts? I did a martial arts show in China. Do you remember?
Nunchuckers. Okay, next week, between now and the next show, you got to dig that out. We've got that on video. I just don't know where it is. It's on RHA somewhere deep in the archives of on the streams. Yeah, martial arts.
Actually, strangely enough, I think it's on the World Wide Web. If you just punch it in.
What? How do you find it? Just went martial arts?
No,
it's like Claudio Munoz, then Bruce Lee.
Yes.
Is that like when it comes up in Google? You got to find it.
Seriously.
And there's two other talents that you've got. Let's be honest. You know, remember? There's one of them is your singing. Monotone
Munoz. Yeah.
One, no matter what you're singing. And the other thing is, it used to be a hairdresser for 14 years.
Hairdresser for 14 years. Oh.
That was your talent, mate. Don't be shy.
What about your talent?
The frizzes.
You were a DJ. Weren't you a DJ as well? You were a DJ.
I was a bloody good DJ too. You know?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, with all the 10-year-olds. wasn't it at the roller skating rink in Corio?
Roller skating rink, and then there was a nightclub in Queensland. Actually, that's another conversation. That was down at Fitzy's, down at Logan.
Yeah,
that was a good DJ. Let's get that place jumping.
Yeah, I remember DJing once. Was it me? No. And one of the boys' parties, like one of the Lisport boys' parties, remember? Or
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
I took over the DJ because
and I don't know, and I ended up like on top of the table. Was that time that I ended up on top of the table? I don't know.
Most parties are on top of the table. Yeah. Anyway, hidden talents. We know Lyle Denman, coach,
but I mean,
leader of Mackay. He's got a lot of hidden talents. Andrew. Yeah. Al, my brew. We know you have some hidden talents. We want to hear it live on the show. Just give us that. Glenn Cook's got some hidden talents. Yes.
Who else? Jay Cook. Jay Cook's got hidden talents as well.
What's his hidden talents?
We're going to wait for him to tell us.
All right. Yeah. Butifara Fran's got a hidden talent. There's all sorts of hidden talents out there. Anyway, we want to see him. We want to bring him into the show, right? So anyway, all right, mate. Let's hit the road.
Hey, what's that? What was that show? Wasn't there a show called Puppetry of the?
Claude does have another hidden talent. That's true. Puppetry of the Where
you used to be able to get the hot dog, the hamburger, the snail. Remember the snail?
Sail or the boat or something?
Yeah, it was the sail. Yeah, it was like the sailboat. The
sailboat, the snail, the hamburger, the hot dog, the snail.
The snail as well.
What about the olive?
Yeah. The bulldog. Yeah, the olive. The bulldog.
What was the bulldog? Is that the one?
Anyways, hidden talents.
Anyway, that's a hidden talent. That is true. Anyway, let's move on. We're lucky we've just tapped into the M+ rated time slot.
Not yet. Depends on which time zone you're in.
Yeah, in New Zealand, man, it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, but all right.
All right, buddy. Take it easy, dude. And thanks everyone for joining in. Good laugh. Yeah. Good catch up.
Cool.
And send us, please engage with us. Send us any questions, any feedback, anything you want to hear more about. It really helps us. All right.
Yeah.
And just again, we'll finalize. Thank our sponsors. Thank you. Yeah. And we'll be in touch. See you, mate.
See you, mate.
See you, buddy. Bye.